welcome back to Stella Rosabella, where I talk about the latest Asian drama, music, and shows. Today I want to talk about my first impression of Zang Hai. So let's get into it. So in this drama, we have Xiao Zhan, who plays Tang Hai, and we also have Zhang Jingyi, who plays Shang Tu. So these are the two characters that we have. They're the cast is a really huge cast. They're all amazing actors. So the character that Xiao Zhan plays, Zang Hai. Does this name sound familiar to you? If you're familiar with 盗墓笔记, you probably heard of Wang Jiaren a lot of the times. And the person who is behind all these architecture and all these like traps in those buildings is designed by Tang Hai, this guy. The production team, this drama, they had to buy the rights from San Shu, who is the author of 盗墓笔记, for this character's name. But I believe from the beginning, they said that this is like separate from the 盗墓笔记. So it's like its story, its own self. So this drama also, why I was also really excited is because of the director. He was also the director of 甄嬛传. So if you watch this drama, like you know who the director is. So I was really excited for this drama overall. So let's get into it. So this drama, right off the opening scene, you see Zhang Hai's dad. They are responsible for building, and they were digging, beneath the ground, and they found a tomb. And his dad, they found these guards, like these things that are standing there, and I assume they're guards. And they weren't moving, but then it moved, and the dad, as you see in the drama later, he's alive, he comes out of the underground. That part, I guess, the green object, and the soldiers, they're a little like it. I guess in some way, for me, it reminded me of 盗墓笔记. So I was like, oh, this is like really similar to how 盗墓笔记is in general. So as we watch the episodes so far, you realize that each episode, it's explained in detail to the audience, the sort of like the purpose of what this episode is going to be about, and obviously you connect it along with the other stuff, but like one episode tells you what they want to say about this part of the story, because I feel like a lot of times drama nowadays, it's like they connect a lot of things at once throughout like one episode, but this one is just like you find the focus of like one thing that they want to talk about in that one episode. And from the first episode, you see how Zhang Hai's family is murdered in front of his eyes. And then you see how much detail and so much like how it all happened. You see it all happening. And I guess in a way, the director and the writers want us to feel how like Zhang Hai felt when he was a kid and seeing his family being murdered. And like, I guess like wanting us to understand like how much like hate and how much anger he has towards this Hou Ye. And and also like when you notice the camera, like when the place was being set on fire, you see that the camera focuses on the sister as well. If you notice that, it's like all the time you see all the other people, but also the sister. So in this drama, I have a lot of questions about like curious stuff like throughout my mind when I'm watching this drama. First off is, how can we trust the masked guy? So right off the bat, this guy, he comes and saves Zhang Hai when he was hiding underground. He found him, he saved him. He's like, I saved you. You want to like get revenge on these people? I will teach you all the skills. First off, he said that he is his father's friend, or like they communicate, like they wrote letters to each other and everything. I was like, how do I know that you're really my dad's friend? How do what proof do you have that you're a good person, and why should I trust you? That's like one thing. And another thing was like he asked Zang Hai, like, do you know this item that your dad brought back with him? Like, do you know what it is? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not sure either. Like, it doesn't seem like he had it with him. So I was like, I don't trust this mask guy. So we know that Zhang Hai has 3 shifu goes with him to the capital. So this shifu and everyone around him, I feel like, you know, in a lot of ways, Zhang Hai like shows like he doesn't trust this shifu, even though, you know, as a kid they took care of him. It seems like they have a good relationship, because he was telling his shifu, like, I was like, he's like, if it was that easy for y'all to kill, 这个侯爷, then, you know, you guys wouldn't have trained me for 10 plus years, you know. So he knows, you know, in his mind, he's like, I don't trust anybody, even the mask guy, okay? Like, everyone that he's encountered, I don't trust him at all. I'm sure he knows that like, these people that train him, like, he's just a tool to them. He's not really their student. So that's like the impression that I got when I was watching these different scenes. So one thing I do want to talk about is, do we really know Zhang Hai, the real Zhang Hai? Because when you see the younger version of him, like, you see him cry, like, has all these emotions shown on his face because, you know, obviously his family, you know, murdered in front of him. Another thing that I feel like to note is when he really shows his emotions, or like, I feel like he does this with everyone, like how he wants to present himself. You'll like, each character is different, but also the feel that each character has is like what he wants those people to perceive him as, but that may not be who he really is. I think that's like one thing that we could all think about. And then I think like the only times where I feel like I see Zhang Hai is when he was a kid, and also the part where he finds his parents' belongings in this secret room, and all these things, and he cried and like everything, and I was like, wow. And also when he had to fix the tomb with these other people, and he got to see his dad's colleague from back in the day. So I feel like those are the times where we see Zhang Hai, like how he is and how he really feels. Throughout this drama, you feel like, oh, okay, this Zhang Hai wants to find the people that murdered his family and everything, and he has to, you know, get his revenge and everything like that. But throughout this whole drama so far, you see how these officials are treating other people. They don't treat them as humans. They just, like, even if you're gone, you're just gone. You're just nothing to me. So I feel like for him, I feel like maybe he's doing this for his family, yes, but also he's doing for the other people. You see, like, from the people that fixed the tomb that died, and also when they had to pick this like feng shui 先生 who could help them fix this tomb problem. So these people are also ordinary people. A lot of people died, and so I feel like he's also doing it for the injustices that these people face. So in this drama, you may have noticed that the camera would stop in certain places for like a couple seconds or so. And there are little particular things that you see throughout this drama. One of them is when Zhang Hai first arrived at the capital and he goes to Zhenlou to listen to the story, which you see way in the beginning. And you know, by the entrance, you see that there's these like fireworks that go off on the two sides. And these are called, this whole like string of firework is called Yao Fa Mu O. And this string that you see is like rotating as the fireworks go off. There's actually little puppets that if you see closely. And this is from the Song dynasty. And it's like once the fireworks go off and it makes the puppets move throughout this whole, like, looks like a lantern, like the holding thing. So that's like one thing that you notice. Another thing that you notice is when Ba Gongzi, who like is showing this puppet show, and she's saying it, and before she says her story, you see that they have this golden leaf that she has to put in her mouth. That golden leaf, you notice there is a lot of holes in it, and that is so. It's like when it's for the wind. So when she's speaking, and all these things, like she has to use her like nose, throat, tongue, everything, and this person can control like the direction of the wind when when you suck in that like air, so like that whole thing, and it can make different noises as well. That is sort of like what I've seen so far, but there's a lot of like little details that the production team, props team did for this drama. And I think it's really cool that if you notice how the camera just stops and or focuses on certain um, scenes, you're like, oh, what is this? You'll be curious of like what this is. So this drama, I really, really love this drama because it is an original script, and it's not based off of a book or novel. So we don't really know what's gonna happen like later in the drama. And then I'm just really happy that there's so many like questions, so many maybe you say like, oh, this is like something that doesn't really make sense, but you have to think about it. And that is what I think of the drama so far. Let me know what you think of the drama, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!